Good afternoon, traders. I'm Michael Sabo, Senior Market Strategist with RJO Futures here in Chicago, bringing you some commentary in the energy markets on August 18th. So let's get started here. Crude prices have basically had a weaker tone here most of the session. Taking a look at the October oil, right now we're off about $1.50, trading around 93.82. Brent's softer as well, down about $1.78, trading around 101.75. Complex is a bit weaker also. We've got the heat off about 3 3/4 cents. RBOB's off almost 4 cents. Nat gas is just up just a touch here. We're up about 2 cents, but overall, mostly a weaker tone here in the energy markets. And I want to do a bit of a recap here. Let's talk about oil prices here back on Thursday. Oil prices had a big sell-off on Thursday, followed by Friday with a nice upswing, reversing almost all of the losses that we saw on Thursday. And then to be followed up here on that October oil on Friday was actually an inside day, market weakening here today, breaking out and making another new low. We're now touching down around the March lows. I think, you look at the fundamentals on this market, it's a lot about, what we've talked about in prior posts, things that I've mentioned. Supply side on the oil. It appears we have ample oil. When you look at the supply side and demand side last week, appears to be weakening even further. Weak economic data coming out of China, weak economic data coming out of Europe, easing geopolitical tensions, even though last week there was some report that Ukrainian forces attacked a Russian convoy that was later backed off of, and from what we can tell here, probably actually didn't happen. That could have been a rumor, even though it did cause prices to spike. We also had option expiration on Friday. September options came off the board. But nonetheless here, weaker tone right now. And that's in spite of, look at the equities market, continues to march higher, up near, coming up on closing that gap here, almost hitting the highs that we've seen in the equities market after the recent sell-off. The market is basically rebounding back up. But, nonetheless, I think, oil prices, when I look at the technical side of the oil market, and although we do see a weaker tone there, short-term technical indicators are in oversold territory. Now, a lot of those indicators are generally lagging indicators, so you have to be careful on how you interpret that. But nonetheless, I do think that the market could possibly be poised for a small bounce. Now, obviously, as many of you know who have been watching these posts, long-term outlook, my opinion, I still remain bearish on oil. But here in the short term, I do think that there is a possibility to see that market bounce up, possibly to touch up near the 200-day moving average, which for quite some time was a significant support level. I look for the market to possibly retest that and see if that will be now a resistance level, and then for the market to possibly ease on back. So I've got some ideas on how you can play that, some strategies. Give me a call, shoot me an email. We can get into more details.
Futures and options on futures may involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for all investors.